Hi, everyone. Welcome to Merch Money, a special edition. We have Ken Reil with us today, and we're going to be talking all about Merch Amigo. So welcome, Ken. So, thank you so much for being here today.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. Well, I started using Merch Amigo, I think, the very first day it came out, very soon if it wasn't the first day, and it's like amazing. So let's back up. What made you decide to work on this?
Well, I mean, with anything, I can't stand long drawn out monotony. It's as bad as setting up merch listings, Redbubble listings, anything like that. I mean, I'm all about automation, and AMS took the cake. I mean, to walk through and make one ad for every listing was just too much, and I said there's got to be a better way to do this. So we've got a lot of plans with it, and I mean the biggest plan is just automation. Make it easy, make it simple, and save time.
I love it. I also wanted to automate it, but I did not even think it was possible. So I'm so glad that you figured out a way to make it possible.
Have both of you tried it out?
Yeah, I've used it since the very first day, and I've put up like a lot of ads with it. So
how many ads have you done?
I don't know. Is there a way to count or see? Like, I haven't really gone one by one, but I've been trying both.
I've blown past the free subscription. I'm already purchased a year. I blew past the free one like in day one. Yeah, so I think I've got maybe 300 ads up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have at least that many. And I have I set some up as a group ad and I set some up individually, because what's so nice about making it go so fast is you can test things so much easier. You can split test stuff because it's not taking like so much of your day. You can just like try out stuff.
Well, and that's the thing was, I looked at it. I mean, we've been playing around with this for a couple of months now. And I originally looked at it and said, is it possible that there's a way that we can make this automated, number one? And number two, how can we keep from jumping back and forth on screens, right? Because that was my other big pet peeve, was having to go over to AMS, drag your ASINs over, do all this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I said, there's got to be a way that we can just do it on the dashboard. And that's what Merch Amigo's done, is we've integrated it into the dashboard. The first iteration was just simply, built right into your edit tabs. And now we've got our own tab that's an ads, and we're separating that out to make it very easy and make it right there on your merch tab. And KDP will take more development, but merch right now has just made it simple on the automation.
And that change was so quick. Like you're saying, the first iteration, like you would think that would have been months ago, and then you updated it months later. I mean, it was all like within a week or two. Like it was very quick.
Yeah, and we haven't gone into this massive launch on Merch Amigo. When we first launched it, it was more, hey, I've been using this for X number of months, and we need to put it out there because people are going to save so much time. There's no competition factor. I mean, ads are ads, and when it comes down to designs, I've always believed that if you've got bad ads, you're not going to get any clicks, you're not going to spend any money. If you got good ads, you're going to get clicks, you're going to get sales. If you have mediocre stuff, you're going to spend a bunch of money and not get any sales. So this kind of separates the cream to the top, is what ads do. And I mean, to get it out at first was just simply, hey, look at what we have, try it out, see what you think. Those people that know what AMS is all about are going to be able to figure it out pretty quick. And then we're going to put a bunch of the lipstick on the pig. We're going to make it pretty. We're going to make it, user friendly, make a GUI on it. And we've got a whole list of things that we're working on to try and add to the application itself.
Well, that's awesome. I'm really glad that you took the initiative to do that, because well, let's talk a little bit about how it saves, because I keep saying it saves so much time, but let's talk about like exactly how. Basically, it's like you said, it's something that's a Chrome extension that attaches to your dashboard, so that you don't have to go back and forth from AMS to your dashboard. So tell a little bit more about like, how does it work? What does it look like?
Sure. essentially what it does is it ties in to the AMS and basically is a pre-filler. It allows you to pre-fill all the information. So on your merge dashboard, you're able to pick your budget. You're able to pick your cost per click. You're able to pick whether it's a single ad or a group ad. You're able to pick out, based on your listings. We've limited it to 100 listings at a crack, because merch has that limitation. And there's another side of that. We actually discussed limiting it to 50 at a time, because we didn't want people thinking that they could go and put 1,000 ads up with one click of the button. And we want you still to manage your ads. We want you to have some kind of input into that. So what it does is it pre-fills your content. Stage one of Merch Amigo is to do the automated ads. And for those that have any knowledge with AMS, we know that there's an automated ad and a manual ad. And the automated ad is just simply let Amazon's algorithm figure out the words, let it test things, let it find things. And we wanted to get that as the first stage, was to be able to pre-fill all that info instead of you going through and clicking everything on AMS. Be able to look at your dashboard and say, I want this one, this one, this one at this budget, at this click, and hit go. And then that's going to transfer that information right over to AMS. The one thing that will never integrate into it is a complete automation. You're still going to have to open up a window on AMS for each one of the ads and approve that ad. I'm not going to allow the extension to do that. You're going to have to approve your ads, because it can get costly if you're not watching it. This is a pretty powerful tool. And people that just say, oh, I'll just throw up ads for everything, and they don't know what the budget is, they don't know what click rates are. They could come back and say, wow, how did I blow $500 today?
Yeah.
And I didn't get any
speaking
sales.
Of that, what I did is every time I do an ad, I put it in a portfolio. So I have a portfolio called Active Ads. And when you have a portfolio, you can set a budget for the month. So it's not even just a budget for that ad, it's a budget for the whole month. So I decided, what my max is going to be for the month, and I put that in there, and it just helps give me, like, no matter how many ads I have running, I won't go over that that monthly amount. So it won't get too crazy out of control. But the other thing about the spending and keeping track of it is that the analytics tab helps so much. It helps me identify the problem ads, because there's going to be some. At least for me, there's some. So it helps you see, like, okay, this ad is spending way too much, and it's not worth it. Like, it's not getting enough sales. So talk about that. That's like a game changer for me.
Yeah, I think it goes back to the initial theory. I'm a firm believer in the process of setting up with AMS with merch, setting up automated ads. Automated ads aren't a magic button. They aren't meant for you to set up all of your listings and, wow, look at me, I got sales. To me, they're there to glean the top keywords. It's to use the power of the algorithm to find out what things are getting clicks, what things aren't getting clicks, what are your customers coming after, and to pull out the best keywords. And then to take those ads and essentially pause them or shut them down and move them over to a manual ad. So what we're looking for is the low-hanging fruit. We're looking for good keywords. We're looking for stuff that converts. And this is assuming you already have good designs. That's a whole nother topic. I'm not even going to go into what makes a good design, what makes a bad design.
And speaking of that, he already did on this show. So just look up Ken Reil on Merch Money, and you'll see he went into detail about good designs.
Yeah, and so you have to have that foundation. And now the first stage is to do the automation. And the goal is to get your keywords. Well, right now, the extension isn't automating that side of it. There's some work you have to do. So you have to watch your ads. But I'll tell you right now, if you're a 10,000 or 20,000 tier person or 50,000 and you want to set up 30,000 ads, I challenge you to say how much time that's going to take you to set up versus being able to automate this. Automate 10,000 ads. You may spend a couple of days doing this. My preference is single ads, not group ads, because I want to key in on specific listings and specific words. And then the work, of course, is to move that over to manual. So it's a bigger strategy. It's a lot of work. But I'll tell you what, you do 10,000 ads and you would add up how much time it would take you to go between the two interfaces and do. We're talking hundreds of hours.
Hundreds of hours. Yeah. I mean, it's so quick. It saves so much time. And then, so I don't think we really dived into the analytics tab that much. That's like my favorite thing, because yes, it saves time to just have it automatically fill and all of that. So the time saver is a big part, but the analytics helps you catch problems quickly. So it saves you money. So not only are you saving time, you're saving money, because the way it works is you have this tab, you click on analytics, and it shows you very neatly 2 columns. And one of the columns shows in order the highest ACoS. So that means how much you're spending for every sale. And it'll show you, like, I had one where it was like 100% or something. Like, it was just like I had one sale, but the cost was so much that it was really bad. So I was able to quickly see that and quickly cancel it. Because if you have 300-400 sales, your total ACoS might be fine. So you don't necessarily notice there's some ad on page 2 that's doing terrible. You don't notice that because your overall results are fine. But when you have the analytics, you notice it right away. It's right there in your face. First thing you see, like, oh, wow, what happened to this ad? And you can just cancel it. I canceled it right from that page. It was so quick and easy. So it saves you money because it wasn't affecting my overall numbers. But why waste money on that one ad that's not doing well? You can just quickly cancel it. Yeah. So it was really helpful for that.
Well, and that's part of the blueprint that we've laid out for Merch Amigo. We could have waited a few months. I mean, we could have waited till Q4 to release this, and then everybody would have been jumping on with all these different options. But I felt strongly that we should release it to allow people to start saving time now, even though the blueprint's not fully filled for the extension. The first step was to get it out and allow people to do automated ads. Cut and dirty, right? The next was to add some functionality, like to change the tab, to make the tab look nicer, to make the GUI a little nicer. Because I know some really powerful extensions that if you're smart to figure them out, they're great extensions, but the average user would look at it and say, what do I do? How do I function? So the first thing is to say, wow, this is easy. It's on the merch dashboard. I click my ads tab. I click a couple of buttons and bingo, 50 ads just opened up on AMS, different windows. And now I can go through and approve them. The next stage was to add the statistics. And even the statistics right now are down and dirty. But people are saying they just love these statistics. Well, there's a lot more that we want to add to that. As we move further into the application, what we're looking at then is to be able to open up your keyword listing, like to look at those keywords and to allow the app to glean out the top keywords, pick out 10, pick out 20, pick out 50, and allow it to sort out the top keywords. And then let's take it another step and take those keywords, take that ad and turn it into an automated manual ad. And that's where the power of Merch Amigo will be. So you're going to automate your automated ad, you're going to pull your keywords, and then you're going to start manual ads that are automated.
I can't even handle this. Because that helps so much, because I was talking to, I don't even remember who I was talking to, but it was something about, like, I was good about doing manual ads in the very beginning. And then at some point in time, you just have too many ads and you just like never do a manual ad again. It's all auto ads. And I'm like, I wish I was like more diligent about checking reports and starting those manual ads and doing the right keywords in the manual ads. So if that can be like, that process can be more streamlined, then that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I know some people that are very good with AMS, and they're also very good with things like Airtable and CSV files and bulk uploading, because there's bulk uploading on AMS, but you have to really understand it. And I wanted to back it up for the average user. Like, not everybody wants to turn into Albert Einstein on their CSV files and, you know, delve so far. They want basic information. They have 1,000 listings. They don't want to spend time to put up 1,000 individual AMS ads. How do I get this in? How do I pull the information? Now, again, I'm going to back it up, and I keep reinforcing this. You've got to know what a good design is.
Yeah.
I can't stress that more. I've seen a lot of people that throw stuff at AMS and say, why aren't I selling? And you can look at their designs and I can say why you're not selling, or why you're spending a lot of money. Because either you're going to spend a lot of money with mediocre designs, or you can be very good at it and go after highly competitive niches. And you may spend a lot of money, but you also might make a lot of money if you've got good designs in those niches. But I know some people that have mastered out the manual ads, some that just use automated ads. I mean, it's preference in the marketplace, but the main main constraining factor of the extension was to save time.
Yeah.
And it's all about my goal of automation. Like, get this thing automated, get it simple, get it easy.
Yeah.
And, you know, everybody say, well, merch now, they love AMS because they're making all kinds of money, and, you know, organic search disappeared 2 years ago, and I don't think we get the same kind of organic search that we did in the beginning stages of merch. But you know what? That's business. Now we're on the platform of Amazon. We're just like FBA sellers. Everything's not organic. You know, you've got to compete for your dollars, and this just makes it quite a bit simpler. So, and then the other side of it, very quickly, we put out the merch. We also put out the KDP, and KDP takes some. It's going to take some more work to make it as refined and clean as merch is. But all of a sudden, you know, there's this big push for KDP, and KDP is a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it myself. But let's automate that as well, and that's the overall goal of the extension.
So great. Megan is asking, can we see what it looks like? And we were talking about that before the show to see if there's a way to do a demo, but right now we don't have a demo set up. We just have our own personal accounts, and there's too much like personal information about like niches and names of the shirts, and it's just too much right now. But hopefully at some point we'll figure out a way to do a demo.
Well, we're working on some videos because we do have a smaller merch account from one of the developers that I work with, that we're able to throw up a whole bunch of just generic shirts. And we're walking through some videos that we can publicly put out there. There's some on the website. There's a few that people can view for how to set up, and they see how it's done. But yeah, the content's kind of tough. I mean, nobody wants to go show their screen with 100 of their top selling shirts that are on
because it's so organized and nice. You'll easily be able to see the best ones and the worst ones, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not high. Anybody can find this stuff, but we will put out some videos that, you know, walk people through and look at it. The best thing people can do is sign up for a free trial. It gets you 50 ads. It'll allow you, and don't go through and just pick 50 and hit go, but you know, pick 5 you want to do and see how it opens the windows and see how it goes into AMS, because it ties the two things together. We've had the question, is there any tie-in on the extension? Can you save my data? Can you save my listings? You know, the conspiracy type things. And there's nothing there that the developers or myself can see. It's all based on your own desktop. It's all based on the scripting on your own desktop. So you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, and Ken is a very good designer. Like, his designs are probably better than almost everyone doing this. So I don't think he'll need to steal your design.
Yeah, I don't have a problem selling. You know, I don't know. Yesterday was 101 or 105 or something. So, you know, I'm running with about 100 sales a day or 150 sales a day. So I'm not worried about your designs. I've got too much work right now with things like licensing and brands to even worry about a lot of the evergreen stuff that's out there.
Yeah.
But go try the free trial. Now, there's another thing that made this a little bit complicated, was the whole merch not releasing everybody for AMS yet. Mm-hmm. And I've had so many people email or message saying, oh, is there any way you can get me approved for AMS? Right now, there isn't. I actually have talked to staff at merch about it. That's also part of the reason with the extension I feel pretty comfortable, is they know the extension's out there. They have no problem with the automation on the AMS. The one thing that you do need, though, is merch ads need to be put on the merch AMS account. Do not use your KDP account with merch ads, because how this is set up is AMS is set up kind of in a vendor type of a situation. And if everybody remembers merch when you were getting in on the back door, remember how everybody put up your hand, you got into AMS because you worked the back door to get in there.
Yeah.
And then what happened was AMS was saying, where did all these users come from? Everybody's got, you know, somebody's got 1,000 problems and we're being inundated by support, and they shut it down. Yeah. And what they've done now with merch is they've rolled out merch is the vendor code, and we are all just kind of subordinates under that one main merch code. And they track you by your merch account. KDP does much the same thing. So it's very easy to set up. Just KDP is a little more advanced and has it ready to go. So KDP, if you're doing both, and you don't have a merch AMS, you're still going to be able to go put ads up on your KDP manuals. So that's something to be aware of. But merch ads need to go on a merch AMS account, and KDP ads need to go on the KDP ad account. And we do have that split out. We have figured out how, if you've got different emails, like a different email for merch to your AMS, how to make that function, and everything's there. The best thing to do if you run into a hiccup right now is just shoot an email to our support. We've got a couple of really good guys that know it and understand it, and we'll help you figure it out and get you on your way. So it's tough. I've had some people sign up just for a KDP. I've had some just sign up for merch. I've had some people sign up even though they're not in KDP and don't have merch, but they're waiting because they want a better deal. Because I will say, as we add more content to the extension, as it becomes more powerful, as we get to the point where manual ads are in there, I mean, it's a pretty cheap tool right now.
Oh my gosh, it's so cheap. I couldn't believe nobody was talking about it. I'm like, well, why is nobody talking about this Merch Amigo tool? This is like the most amazing thing I've seen. I mean,
I think because not everybody can use it right now, right? And our target base isn't the person at 50 tier or 100 tier.
Yeah.
It's people that are 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 tier. It's people that are actually doing something with their account. And not everybody has an EMS account. Yeah. We are getting a lot of response from the KDP side because there's so much interest in KDP, and it's very easy to get your AMS account set up with KDP.
Yeah, and I'm sure like if you're not doing a lot of ads, it doesn't really matter if you have it or not, but I still think it's helpful no matter how low amount of ads you have, because you can just see so clearly what needs attention and what's doing well.
The cost of the extension for me pays for itself. If I were purchasing this myself on a monthly subscription, I would have used up the value to it in the first 15 or 20 minutes. I mean, it would have saved this much time. Yay. I'm off to the races.
I was like I went through the first 50 ads and I was like, this is amazing. And I signed up. I'm pretty sure I signed up for life or whatever you had.
The yearly or whatever.
I guess it was year. I think I was looking for a lifetime. You don't have a lifetime, do you?
No, we don't.
That's what I was looking for. I guess I signed up for a year then.
I got a bunch of people looking for lifetime. They're like, I want to lock this in now because I bet this gets more costly in the future. And it probably will. Yeah. Because what is it, like $8 a month right now? I mean, we're talking.
Well, I'm trying to lock in lifetime right now, so don't forget about this.
But it is tough to jump into the groups and say, everybody promote this and push this, when you then have to give it a caveat and say, well, you have to make sure that you've actually got an AMS ad. Yeah. When merch opens that up, I think we'll push it quite a bit harder, just because everybody will have the opportunity to sign up and use it. But this is getting into a little bit of upper echelon stuff. This is not for everybody, but everybody can use it. And if you want to take your game to another level, this is definitely a tool that I think sits in the top 2 or 3 that you should have.
And definitely now is like so important to start getting momentum on your shirts, because as you get into Q4, you want to make sure that you have as much momentum as you can. Megan is asking, how can you tell if you are eligible for AMS? There's a little code at the bottom of your dashboard, right? Or when you log in.
And this is a tough one right now, because you would get an email from merch when they had it open that says you've been invited. Your confidential code would show up at the bottom of your dashboard. It's disappeared for everybody now, even those people that have signed up. So even if you were invited and didn't take action, you can't get in. It's just closed right off. And I've actually talked to the managers over that. There's no time frame right now for when it'll be open. There's no, can you scoop me in? Can you make an exception?
I didn't know that. Oh my God.
Well, they hope to have it open for Q4. But I think there's just some restructuring going on. I know that AMS has a new dashboard movement that's happening. We don't think that'll break the app, but if it does, we'll have it fixed pretty quick. It's just a GUI thing. But so if you got the code and didn't use it, you're in the batch with people that are waiting to get in. It's the same thing with UK and DE. You could sign up at those times for those markets. If you didn't do it, you've got to wait for those 2 markets. And the extension does do all the different markets.
I don't know if I signed up. But I think I might be in that category. But yeah, taking action is so important. Amazon really values it. Like,
here's something though for people that do have the app and do have AMS on. They signed up for the US, the UK, and DE. Ads and competition are quite a bit lower on DE and UK. That goes to say, even with listings on Europe, yes, I know it's a lot of work to get up there. It's not the same payback as the US, but if you go search some of the niches right now over in Germany, I mean, you can be on the top 3 pages pretty easy.
That's what I was trying to tell people. Like, I didn't take action on getting the ads right away because I felt like there was like so little competition. But now I'm like, oh man, I should have done that. But but I have been putting shirts up there because that's what, even though you're not going to get as many sales as the US right now, that'll change. It'll get more and more popular in Europe, and it's good to have your shirts up now getting traction.
Yeah, and Germany's way bigger than UK. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. I just can't figure out how to have that reflect in my sales. Jan's watching. Jan gets tons of sales in Germany. How do you do it, Jan? I am failing in Germany.
I mean, I'm doing about $1,000 to $1,500 a month on royalties for Germany right now.
Are you posting in German, or you're posting? You're posting in English, right?
English.
Okay. Jan, are you posting in German or English? Because I think I might try doing English because I've been doing German. So I don't know if
Jan's ancestors come from Germany, so he spoke German in the home.
You know what else Jan does is he goes to all my meetups all the time, every single one.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of real pieces of gold there. If you've got all of the EMS ads set up already, you've got a big advantage, and you do want to focus in on Germany. I know that Merch wants a bigger account in Europe, a catalog. I mean, not account, a bigger catalog of listings in Europe. They do have kind of the problem right now that nobody wants to put stuff up over there.
They had that problem with long sleeve shirts and sweatshirts back when that was happening, and I was happy about that because all the like big people, I wasn't really a big person yet, and I still not really, but anyway. They were not uploading long sleeves and sweatshirts, and I was. So I was like, sweet, I don't have as much competition.
Well, which is the whole reason they put up the multi-uploader beta.
Yeah, I was doing it the whole time. So mine are pretty even between all the different products. And it's interesting because then you can kind of see, like, is it really a lot less? And some products are quite a bit less, but some, like pop sockets and some of the other products, I mean, it's right up there with standard t-shirts. They're doing really well. So.
And that's the other thing with Merch Amigo is we added within a week or two, we added pop sockets, so you can do ads on pop sockets. You be careful on those because there's not a lot of margin. It's very competitive on pop sockets.
Yeah.
But KDP, all the different products. So yeah, all the different markets. So, you know, I kind of look at it. We've got the foundation. We do have a blueprint for what we want to do, and there's a whole bunch more things that we're going to add. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I'm just kind of. I'm waiting for the time that we can just go full gusto with this and, you know, really promote it. It's tough right now because we're kind of focused on the user that wants to figure this out, that actually has an ad and can go forward. So
there's some funny conversation going on in the chat. Something about Heaven's Gate cult. I don't know what that is. So
yeah, I think we had a troll in here. So they're gone now.
Oh my God, so funny. Okay, so all right. I don't even know what else to say. I think it's amazing. Christina, you have any questions? Anything?
Yeah, no. It literally, I cannot live without it now. Up to this point, I had run 3 ads prior to Merch Amigo, and I was like, this is too much work. I'm just going to keep designing, writing good keywords and all this stuff. So literally 3 ads, and I had decided it was, you know, too much to copy the ASIN and try to just do everything. And when I started the trial with Merch Amigo, and I literally just had to like click a few buttons, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I need. So it was a no-brainer for me.
It was a no-brainer for me too. I think we both signed up the same, like the first day we tried it. went through the whole 50 ads and signed up same day.
Yeah, I was like, I ran a couple at first, and I was like, really? This is this easy? Like, I was kind of waiting for something else to happen. I'm like, it can't be this easy, literally. And
which is why I thought of limiting it to even like 25 or 50 at a time, because I did not want everybody to put 1,000 at a time, you know, and hit go. And there's no way I'm pushing that button for you either.
Yeah.
You have to hit go on AMS. You have to approve the ad. We'll fill in the comparable information for you. And it's going to get really excited when we get manual ads in there and a lot more statistics and the keyword pulling.
Yeah, because when you first came out with it, there wasn't any analytics. And I still was like sold. I want the lifetime thing. Yeah. But then when that came out, it really made me realize how much money I was going to save with this, because we all know we get so busy. We're doing so many things. Like, you might put up all the ads, check on them like a couple days later, and then forget about it for like a couple weeks. At least that would happen to me. And then I would log back in and be like, oh man, I probably should have stopped that ad like 2 weeks ago. Like, so it's so nice to have it be right on your manage tab. You just click on it and it's right at the top. Any problems will show up right there. So I'll literally be able to check it every day. And it's not going to happen again where I have something that's not profitable or not working well. Like, those will get cut quickly. And the good ones will be caught quickly also, so I can add more money, more budget to the good ads.
And Amazon's going to love you for doing it.
Yeah.
But you know, we've added things to show you now on the ads tab, something that's sold and hasn't sold, right?
Yes.
If you've looked lately.
Can I tell you what I've been doing with that? Okay, so when this came out, the very first thing I did was put up a whole bunch of ads. The very second thing I did was see that it said which ones weren't selling, or which ones hadn't sold. So when I was, I had been going through to add in the new products, the tank tops and stuff like that. So I would just quickly check there and see which ones hadn't sold and take them down. So like, if only the standard shirt had sold, I'd delete all the other ones and then re-upload with the multi-uploader all the products, so they'd be up for a full year, so that they're up for Q4. I don't have to worry about stuff falling off now. Like, I have pretty much taken off almost everything that would have fallen off. So almost everything in my account has either sold or is up there for a year. So. Yeah,
and people have to understand right now is the time to get your BSRs for Q4.
Yes.
I've heard the argument. Some people were saying, oh, when there was whatever time frame, they were listing it out, like waiting until the time frame that their stuff would be live during Q4. I said, this isn't a game of shooting for Q4. This is a yearly thing. Yeah. And if you're not putting stuff up in Q2 and Q3 to get BSRs for Q4, you missed out big time, because even though your shirt only has a BSR of 1 million or 2 million, when Q4 kicks in, you've got a lot better chance of being sold if you've got a good design versus the guy that just put it up. Oh, I'm 45 days out. I'm putting all my stuff up, hoping to get their sales in Q4. I'll walk circles around anybody with 2 million and 3 million BSR stuff.
You want to get those sales because there's a certain percentage will leave a review. I mean, a low percentage, but whatever. You have the chance to get a review. So so that's another reason. So
I mean, I know a lot of older sellers that have core content in their catalogs that have been selling for 2 years. I mean, all the old stuff didn't die. There's not some great, you know, the new stuff is what's being seen. We've been through our trials, the early people. I mean, we had the great crash of 2018 on Cyber Monday, where everybody's ASINs disappeared, like the BSRs disappeared because they happened to reset all the old stuff to the new way of doing ASINs, and it wiped out the BSRs on all the top selling old stuff. That was actually a catalyst to this extension, because I said there's got to be a quick way. My stuff, if it gets put on the top of the page in the sponsored ad, I know I'm going to get the sale. I know I'm going to be back to where it was. And I've proven that with my old stuff. Yeah. So what? I blew $4,000 or $5,000 doing that. That's business. But my stuff is back up there, and now it's organic, and I don't worry about the ads.
I was just going to say, that day ended up being so good because it helped all my brand new shirts that hadn't sold yet. It helped them rise up. And then all the shirts that had been doing well, all I had to do was look at the analytics and see like which ones are my best sellers, and I put ads on all of those. So it ended up getting them back get that BSR back. And
that great crash turned my December into a $25,000 December that should have been a $50,000 or $60,000 December. That's just life, you know. And I've recovered. And this extension was a thought process to get that stuff back selling. That's actually the initial startup of this was, wait a minute, well, I've got to get this back in the market. This is an onerous process to do. I don't have time for it. I've got so much stuff going on with the watchdogs. I mean, my wife, I think, is ready to kick me out of my office if I spend more time on watchdogs. I'm being pulled with merch stuff. I've got, you know, different things from the merch staff. I mean, I was in DC a couple of weeks ago, and that was a fun time, going and meeting with senators and congressmen for Amazon. That's what my DC trip was. I mean, I'm being pulled so many different ways that I actually don't have a lot of time to focus directly on my account. I'm dealing with a lot of licensing stuff. I'm dealing with brand stuff, and it's got to flow. It's got to go quick. And so that's the way I think, is automate the process, make it easy, save all the time, and be able to spend my time on other stuff. And so that was the catalyst to where we are now. And we've been playing with this since Q1, and we finally released the bare bones that we knew people could actually figure out. And just wait until we get the rest of the stuff on there. The stats are going to be bigger. Manual ads, you know, KDP will have better integration. I mean, we've even thrown around the idea, I wonder if we could throw in some, you know, third-party Seller Central stuff into this and automate this stuff. So.
Oh my gosh, I've already been in the background trying to get him to do the Seller Central stuff, because I think it's so important. All of it ends up merging. Like, people end up having like private label for their brand, but then also have t-shirts. I mean, you can build your own brand around all the different Amazon platforms.
Yeah. The strength of the tool too is it's not so much about what tells you what a good shirt is. It's not about selling you some kind of research. It's not selling you some kind of vector pack or t-shirt designs, or, you know, it's not a tool that is trying to tell you how to be a better seller. It's just simply a tool that makes you more efficient at what you're doing and gets your content up there. It's not a magic button. If you've got bad designs or mediocre designs, this extension is not going to do a lot for you. As I said, go back and learn what a good design is. And
it was a magic button for me, though. And I wouldn't say I have like the most amazing designs ever. I feel like my designs are probably somewhere in the middle. Like, they're not bad, they sell, but they're not like, oh my God, so amazing. And ads still work for me. So I don't know. Maybe my ACOS is higher than other people's. I have no idea. But
yeah, but what it will teach you as you're doing this, as you're spending time in AMS, the reciprocal effect is you're going to be looking at your competition and saying, how do I up my game? Right. And I'm the last person to say, go copy somebody else's stuff. Yeah. But I'm the first one to say, have a secret group of friends that will give you true feedback on your designs. They'll tell you it sucks, or it's good, or a family, or just somebody that gives you the feedback. And this is another way to get that feedback, because you're going to see what you're competing with. You're now going to be looking at what pops up on sponsored ads and say, oh, yeah, you know, that's why he's got a 5,000 BSR, because his ad pops up every third page that I go to. And he's got a good design and it stands out. Like, this goes back to the whole Facebook thing. You go back 5 years ago on Facebook, and it was brand new to t-shirts, and you could drop any kind of crap into Facebook and sell with ads and sell all kinds of stuff. Well, now people are kind of exhausted on t-shirt ads on Facebook. You've got to have a really good shirt and a really good ad and targeted market, and you can do very well on Facebook. But the same thing is happening in merch. I really believe the cream is rising to the crop. Some of the people we're seeing walk away from merch are people that haven't figured out what a good design is, and good designs ultimately will win. Yeah, we fight with copycats, we fight with trademarks, but that'll come. That's part of business, and it'll get better.
Yeah. For me, what I also like about it is that it shows like what of your own designs are the best. So it literally puts it in order. What ad is doing the best? And so that helps you to not only put more money for that ad that's doing the best, but it helps you also go back and look, like, do I have that design on all the products? Do I have that design in white and in black? Do I have like a variation of that design? So it helps me focus my attention on what's doing well, and the stuff that's not doing well, I cut the ad. Don't worry about uploading more to other products. Like, those get pushed to the side, and the ones that are doing well, you focus on that.
Yeah. And Merch Amigo, the extension is a bit of an extension of the way I think. And as you see things roll out, you're going to see how I think in my business or with print on demand. It's an extension of who I am. If it's something being rolled into the extension, it's because it has value to my business. And I'll be a little greedy. I mean, we could have just spent a bunch of money, developed this, and kept it to ourselves.
Yeah, I'm really happy you didn't do that.
Me too.
And we had the initial thought of doing that. Like, why share this? Let's use this as a tool that's for us. Now, yeah, I'll make some money on this, but I had a lot of people that told me, I kind of consulted. Like I said, we have this extension. What should we price it? I think 4 out of 5 people said, "Oh, no less than like $79 or $99 a month."
I think that's
like
fair.
$100 a month is fair.
Yeah.
You're going to glean out the users that know what the tool's worth is. And I'm kind of like, well, yes and no. We've got some caveats in there. Like, not everybody has AMS. Not everybody's a specific customer. But lowering the price allows us to go for somebody that's maybe 1,000 tier, has 800 shirts up, and says, I'm not going to spend $100 when I'm only making $100 a month.
Right.
But maybe I want to spend $25 on ads to make another 100, and that's the people that we want to reach out to. I think that we'll add tools that I think will blow you away on functionality in the future that aren't just tied to AMS, but make things easier. And you saw some of that with this is sold, that hasn't sold. Like, now you look at your list and there's red, green, red, green, red, green, all the way down, right?
Oh my gosh,
love that.
I was messaging Christina. I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, I have tools that kind of help with that. Like Merch Wizard helps with that too. But this was like right there on the dashboard, and it was just everything was right there. So I had the AMS ads, I had the what's sold and hasn't sold, because it's just like you said, efficiency. Like, I need to focus on the fastest way to tier up and to do well in Q4. And it's like, okay, focus on what's doing well. So that's helped me a lot. And it helped me.
Some of the merch managers have had some interest in it too. I showed it to them and they were like, wow, really? I mean, they're looking on the perspective of, wow, look how much.
Should have developed
this is how many content creators we had. If they're all in AMS and they're all spending on ads, I mean, that's Amazon. Amazon's an advertising company.
Yeah,
we love that stuff. And this was totally off the scale of, is it T-shirts? Is it, BSRs? Is it, all this research stuff? No, this is actually a tool that, functions for us and functions for them. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah, you want to do things that help Amazon. You don't want to be like going against them. Like, just go with the flow, help them out.
But the tool's completely above water. There's no, backdoor stuff going on.
I really like that because I know you've talked to people in merch, and it's nice when you can use a tool that they know about. So.
Yeah.
So anyway, the tool itself, like I said, go get a free trial. I know a number of people that run groups have, coupon codes and affiliates and stuff like that. I'm sure you're giving out like a 10% or something like that.
Yeah, ours is
look those out. It's easy. Try it for a month, see what it's all about. We've got a lot of hardcore people that are like, oh, I'll never give this up now. Don't let this app crash. And when it breaks, they're like, oh, I need this. When's it going to be back up? And, so we've got a team working on that, and, a lot of things will roll out. So this is just another appendage to what I'm doing. The Watchdogs, doing a lot of work with merch. I'll throw a kick out there. We're planning a conference in Dallas in early spring. We're not doing it in Seattle this year. If people are smart enough to put one-on-one together, Dallas, we're holding it in Dallas for a reason. I do have some conversation with a lot of managers at merch. I talk to them quite a bit, and there's a reason we're going to hold it in Dallas. So a lot of fun stuff, I think, that'll come this year. But right now, buckle up and get ready for Q4.
Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And just, for those of you that follow the Trademark Watchdogs, we are almost, maybe we hit 430 LOPs.
Past it.
We passed it? Okay.
I think we're at 415 or something today. I could see us hitting 430 or 450 because I think we got some people racing for those final prizes. So they've got the competition going on. But to put that in perspective, we did 300 last year as a group. So in just over 30 days, we've smashed through 400. So
nice. Yeah, that was fun. I finally learned how to do one, and we had a fun day doing those in the group.
You know what I want in that group? Yeah. This is getting off the topic of Merch Amigo, but if we got 500 members to submit one LOP a month, the whole industry would be changed.
I know. Yeah. I know.
That's all it takes. We've got almost 10,000 members in that group. We've got a very high activity rate. I posted the numbers. We've got 7,000 or 8,000 active members, meaning they're seeing the post, they're clicking on a post, they're posting on a post. For a group, those are absurd high activation numbers.
You gotta find a way.
We need an LOP will take you a half hour to learn how to do, and it'll take you what, 15, 20 minutes tops to put a simple pre-pub LOP together. If I had 500 members doing that, that would equate to 6,000 LOPs a year. USPTO wouldn't know what the hell is going on.
Did they say anything to you? When you went to DC, did you get to talk to them or no?
I didn't get to talk to USPTO, but I met with every congressman and every senator from Nevada. And they, at the end, I mean, I had to share my merch story, and it was a PR thing and a lobbyist thing. But at the end, we were able to discuss, what can I do for you? They would say, and my policy holder from Amazon that was with me loved the Watchdog story and tied that right in. So every conversation in the end was a 10-minute discussion about Watchdogs. And they were very interested. I know Senator Masto from Nevada was all over this. She was not impressed that Don't Tread on Me was trademark for t-shirts. She was not impressed 1776 was trademark for t-shirts. I mean, these are absurd things. And, every one of the congressmen and senators wanted more info, and a couple of them are even saying, there's probably some strings we can look at to get this tied into the USPTO and look at this group and look at what's happening, because it was tied into small business. This is all about what the effect on small business is. This is hundreds of thousands of dollars a year that are coming out of our pockets that shouldn't be. So it was a great discussion, and high fives all the way around when we come out of the meetings, because we got the Amazon story thing pushed, and we also were able to push the trademark thing. And it ties
that's what I love so much about this community, is that whenever there's a problem, everybody just works together to solve it. Like, it's just so much has been improved since we first started merch. Like, it's just.
We'll go back to February 18 when I started Watchdogs and compared trademarks and what was going on with trademarks back then to right now.
Yeah.
We've only gone a couple of steps, I think, but those have been major steps. I mean, hey, I've been called every name in the book now because of trademarks. I've got a lot of people angry. Well, you know what? Be angry. It's time to stop what's going on in the trademark industry for apparel. There's a real problem in merchandise and print on demand with trademarks, and it's got to be fixed. It's because it's not the same in other classes. If you're in the restaurant class or the food class or all these other classes of trademarks, you don't see the kind of trolling that's going on t-shirts. It's a specific area that's actually just absolutely being crushed by some of these people that are taking advantage of the situation. So we'll fix it.
Yep. Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for creating this tool and for coming on today. Is there anything else that you wanted to say in general about either the conference or the tool or anything?
Not too much. Lots going on. Take a look at the tool. I'm kind of quiet about it. I will jump on. I will share some posts. I will share some updates. And more will come. And I'm really hoping AMS opens up for everybody. I think that'll be a real big deal. And then we'll really push the app. But right now, it's kind of your little secret. Those people that have used it, they know what kind of a secret it is and how powerful it is and how much time you save. So go try out the trial. It gives you 50 ads.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks so much. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.